Okay, so I'm talking in English. You are all, I think, Estonian, but still, some of people are going to watch it in the stream or in YouTube. But okay, so my name is Lene, and I'm going to talk about commercial success for indie games. So I can hear you all who are still alive from the flu here, so I can hear you all think, but Lene, you haven't had any commercial success with a game. No, but well, I got some information from my studies. I study media and advertisement design in the art college, and I did a market research and listened to some talks, read some books, and did an internship at a advertising company and got some great tricks from there. And then I felt like I learned something from all of this, and I wanted to share it with you. So we have covered some topics in the APT morning talks already, like Christian Rose talked about publishers and how to talk with them and how to get some it was some kind of marketing related talk as well, and Henri Laupmaa talked about crowdfunding and how you get fame from there, and Angela Majori also from AdGoals talked about affiliate marketing. Whether or not you have seen these or want to use all of these tips, the things I'm going to talk about today are going to be useful still, even if you don't want to do any affiliate marketing or crowdfunding or deal with publishers. So what I'm going to talk about is why market your game. Then I'm going to talk about the basics you have to have when you want to have a successful game. Then talking about designing not just the game but the world around it. Then how to make ads entertaining, and I'm going to talk about what is guerrilla marketing and some more crazy stuff. So I'm not going to talk about numbers and other boring statistics. If you're interested in them, you can look them up. And this time no cats also, because last time went a bit crazy with those. So why market your game? When talking about marketing and advertisement, people usually think it's really like evil business. You are trying to get consumers and you're trying to fool or manipulate people into something. But advertising could be really good as well if you're doing it for the right reasons. So if you learn some tricks how to get the attention of people, or just I don't know, make people do some stuff, then you have really big responsibility. Like with great power comes great responsibility. You have to do it for right reasons. So if you're making a game, please don't make this, I don't know, Farmville or something that uses these marketing tricks really bad, in a really bad way, or a game that makes you really addicted to it with no actual good things from that the users don't get any good things out of it, aren't entertained. Like this guy, he doesn't even enjoy the game, he's just tapping. The main reason so many indie games fail is that they think they have to just make a good game. And if you have a good game, people play it and show it to others, and they like it, and it gets good reviews and everything, but sadly it doesn't work like that, because there are so many new games coming in every day, so you can't just do it. Now more and more developers are understanding that marketing is important, but still think it's it's a boring, and like they are afraid of it and think it's not as fun as the game making itself. But there are ways how the marketing could be as fun as making the game. Here's our first example, Airscape: The Fall of Gravity. So it's a really good game. It didn't do really well. Even Total Biscuit told about it, the failure of an indie platformer, and there was this article in Kama Sutra that good isn't good enough, releasing an indie game in 2015. That was the time when they started to understand that only making a good game, or even the basic marketing tricks, don't work for making a really successful game on the market. So they themselves said that they went to the death spiral. They called it that. Yeah, it's like people aren't interested, press doesn't notice, and press makes no content of it, and then people aren't interested, and so on. And they said they wanted to get to the life spiral, but they didn't have anything too interesting to capture the people's interest. So the game was good. It got 2 big awards, very positive reviews on Steam. Total Biscuit approved it. The marketing was good. They did really many things that's usual to do when you're going to release a game. Also, the sales were terrible. They got 150 sales from it, and it just stopped selling after that. And so what went wrong? It turned out that good marketing is not good enough, and there are not enough hooks in game design, and marketing wasn't smart at first. Why I added that at first was that after they made after Total Biscuit talked about how of a failure it was, and there were many places and many journalists that talked about this game because it failed. So after that it got really successful. So they didn't plan it, but you could, when you make a game, you could plan this kind of marketing in your. You could have it in your plan beforehand, so it could get more popular with some weird tricks. So what are the basics I'm talking about here? So first, you're going to have to design your game with hooks. I'm going to talk about that too. Then design your game while thinking of marketing. Some people talk that you should start marketing on the same time when you are making your game. You could. That's not always the case, but you should think of marketing at least the same time when you're making the game to make this game marketable. Then you should do all the marketing basics and then add something extra. Going to talk about these steps now. So first step, you should design your game with hooks. So these are like little add-ons to the game that capture people's interest. It could be music or art or something like that. If you're interested in this, then you should read this article, how to choose the right design, what makes an indie hit in Kama Sutra. It's there they talk about Crypt of the Necrodancer, and the first hook the game has is interesting game name. So if you're looking at it, you at first just read Crypt of the Necrodancer, and then you are like, wait, what? Well, that's silly, and it already captures your interest. So next thing was weird genre combination they had. So they had like a rhythm game that was also, I think, roguelike, yeah, and it's another thing that makes people go like, wait, what? Third thing was that they had great looking art, of course, and catchy tune and theme song. That's another really important thing. Music is usually overlooked in the games, but music really could make people feel really good while playing your game. So even if your game isn't too good, if you have really catchy music, it's so much better already. And good narration and voice acting, and a good trailer. So yeah, basically, if I would see that Crypt of the Necrodancer somewhere pop up, I'm sure I will click on it because it's so colorful and makes you want to know more about it. So the second step is design your game while thinking of marketing. Some games aren't just marketable. If you make a silly game, it's really marketable. I'm not saying you have to make a silly game. You could capture the interest in some other way. It could be really, I don't know, really scary, or really like something has to be a bit off in there. So if you look at this goat simulator, you're like, wait, what goat simulator? Okay, I want to know more about it. So this kind of thing works. Yeah, so you can't market the game well if it isn't designed as marketable product. That's the thing. Usually people make games and then they are like, okay, how we're going to market this. But when they haven't thought about marketing in the first place, they will really have a really hard time marketing it later. Yeah. So the basics. This is the boring part, I guess. If you want to learn more about the basics, there's really good game developer conference talk in YouTube, how to make and self-publish a game in 12 months. So here are the things you have to have for a game. A good trailer, contact writers, journalists, YouTubers, make Twitter, Facebook, Reddit and post stuff there. Make a great storefront, show the game on conventions, enter competitions and so on, like make a web page and press kit for journalists. But it doesn't all work if you don't have anything really interesting or eye-catching to show them. So what I'm going to talk about most is the extra, what you can add there. You should not just only design a game, you should design a game world. The game doesn't have to end where the file ends. If you exit the game, it shouldn't like vanish from your life, and you don't have anything in your real life that reminds you of this game, or yeah. So there's different things you can add, like achievements is one of the easiest, I think. So you can share the achievements in real life, and also some real life items like Witcher, that's really good. They don't do anything against the copyright issue of really cheap Chinese companies making these patents for like everyone, for like millions and millions of them, and selling them like for €1 or something, and it's totally
for free, just pay for shipping.
Yeah, it's yeah. that's exactly the way they're yeah, and so even I have seen quite a lot of them. People have them, and people then ask, and what is this? Oh, it's from Witcher and stuff. So it lives in the real life as well. Also, a game in physical world. Like these are the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So it was, well, this one was like the cartoon was made for selling the cards, but basically you could make a game that has like a real life card game or something like that as well. You could like write a story or a comic, expand the world that your game has, make contests like game character drawing, or start discussions about your game in forums or something like that, for people to think about the world of your game outside the game as well. So yeah, the basic thing is nobody likes to see advertisement where like, okay, this is another ad, I can't even skip it or something, or whatever. I want to see like something, I don't know, that's not selling me anything. So you shouldn't make like ads, you should make entertainment or some stuff that in internet people could share without it being like straight in your face, buy this. So there's this glitchy slide, I don't know why. So before making an ad, you could ask yourself, does this ad give anything to the person seeing it? Is it interesting, funny, or intriguing? And would I interact with it myself? So if you're going to make some picture or something and you're going to share it, and then just look at it with a clear view and think, okay, would I click on it if I saw it? And if you wouldn't, it's not even like worth of your time of sharing. So it should be something really crazy or eye-catching. Nowadays there are really people do like really weird things on the internet, and it's totally fine for advertisement as well, especially like for indie game company. I get it, maybe sometimes I don't know, big banks or something don't want this kind of advertisement for theirs, but there's not much to lose for indie games. So also you could do collaboration and cross-marketing. When you have no money but some skills, then you could just like rent out your skills. Let's say you have a really good artist in your team, and you find a guy who does really good music, and you're like, we could do a music video for you, and you could give us your music, and we could use it in the game. So there's this one music video I saw, and it worked because I really liked it. Oh wait, they promised no cats. So here's a cat, but well, anyway, there's an ad in here. So it's a music video that was made for the song. The song is used in the game, and it worked because I downloaded this game because of this same music video. So
woke up this morning with a gun to my head. Somebody help me, she wants me dead. Woke up this morning with the devil in my bed. In the air, everywhere, in my veins and in my head. She wants me dead, 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 dead. She wants me dead, 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 dead.
There's this thing, and I was like, what is the music video? Why does this look like a game? So I went to the description and was like, oh okay, it is a game. I want to play it because it looks so cool and it has this kind of cool music. Yeah, here's the game, and it got really many sales, and it's really popular game, and that's why, because well, this music video is like 29 million views, so that's really a great way to like cross market something. So yeah, if you have like some free time over or something, then you could just contact some people who are doing something, making some content, and try to make work together with them, and maybe you'll just get some more exposure that way, and make usable content for others. So there are many people who are, their job is every day to find really crazy and interesting stuff to post about, to talk about, to blog about, to just talk or whatever. And then you can, if you make something that's really like outrageous or crazy, then they could pick it up really well. Because if you're trying to just send them emails like, hey, check out this new cool game or something, then they won't like bother. But if you're telling about them like I don't know, something really crazy, I don't even know, then there's more probability they will talk about it. And so another thing, yeah, Cuphead. I'm sure many of you have heard a lot of talk about it, that it's a hard game or it's an easy game. No, it's not so hard, but some people are like, yeah, it's really hard game, and it's the hardest game you have ever played. It's like Dark Souls or something. And where it started from, this talk about is it a hard game or not, is the one really cool gameplay. They had this journalist play this game that doesn't play games really often, and it turned out really as a really viral video because it's really hard to watch. Because but it's really good marketing tip, because this kind of stuff gets like so many views. It's just well, he does it like for and then people are like sharing this video, and they're making their own versions of this video. One guy had his son, who's 3 years old, play better than this guy. That one got really many views as well. It's almost a meme now. Yeah. Well, he does get over it, but takes some time. Yay. Okay. And yeah, there's other ones as well. It's like this one is where every time the guy fails, the thing gets more pixelated. Every jump he fails. So there's lots of memes about this one. Yeah. Yeah, another really good way to just make marketing work. And basically it's called Guerilla Marketing. Guerilla Marketing is an advertisement strategy concept designed for businesses to promote their products or services in an unconventional way with little budget to spend. Okay, Wikipedia tells this. So basically, if you don't have any money, that's almost always true for indie game developers. So you could still make some advertisement that's quite unconventional, and it works because people are sharing it in their own will. So yeah, there's many guerrilla marketing ways. One of them is making something crazy on the street, something clever, and then people will like make pictures of it, or you make a picture yourself, or even you could just Photoshop it and share it. People still will share it and they will get really far. So there's guerrilla ads need a lot of courage and playfulness. That was what I was talking about. So that even some really big companies use it, but for small game designers, like it's a bit of a gamble usually, but it could work really well. So it sometimes breaks taboos. It could be a bit illegal, like, I don't know, street art is or something, and it could sometimes result in bad fame, but some people are okay with it. And yeah, well, there's only exposure, like some people say, there's no bad exposure or something. Yeah, there's this thing of stepping over the line. Guerrilla marketing is basically like stepping on the line. There is no need to just start doing like really crazy stuff, but well, I'll show you now some of the examples. This is one of the worst, I guess. God of War 2 came out and they made this party where they sacrificed a goat, and it was really, I don't recommend this kind of marketing, but guests at the event were even invited to reach inside the goat's still warm carcass to eat offal from his stomach. So it was talked about really lot. There's lots of really crazy pictures from that party, and yeah, well, it got really many sales as well because of this. But yeah, this is not one of my favorites because this is I think a bit too much, but well, it works. Another really crazy one was when Burnout 2 came out. They said they will cover all speeding tickets on the release day, but the police came in and said, no, you can't do this. and stop this marketing campaign, and they knew it. They knew it beforehand, so that they were like, oh well, okay, we can't then if they are saying that we can't. So yeah, because police shut down this thing, then but it still went good because it gave a lot to journalists to talk about. How they said they will cover all speeding tickets and how the police came, and nothing bad happened to them, but only good things basically. They got a lot of media coverage from this. And then a smaller game, Anodyne, had this Pirate Bay ad for $7. It said, "Hi, we're John Kituk and Sean Hogan. We'd like to make a living by making games that will give people memorable experiences, but we know not everyone can afford them. So that's why you can download a torrent of our game, Anodyne, and if you'd like and are able, also purchase the game." So they got really a lot of attention from journalists for that, and they got really many sales because of that, because people felt they were really honest and good. So they did pirate this game a lot, but they did buy it as well, because they felt like this ad was to them as internet pirates, and wanted to, and saw the people behind this game and wanted to give money to them. So another one was Game Dev Tycoon. So it's a game where you make a game, but if you pirated the game, in your game version there were pirates pirating your in-game games you were trying to sell in the game. So people got really angry and started posting on the forums, why the hell are the pirates in the game? That's so stupid. Why? And then they were called out because they themselves were the pirates who got this version of the game. And this one got a lot of media coverage as well. All these kinds of tricks are working. Yeah, and well, this game doesn't need any longer talk. It's just about how silly games you could make. I guess there's still a lot of silliness and craziness to be reached. We haven't reached the top yet. I'm sure we could do even better than this. This already was like, I was staring at this like 5 minutes and trying to get to my head what the hell is this, but still, I guess there could be even crazier things to catch people's attentions.
One thing I noticed
Yeah.
is that many games that are really small indie games, they get lots of attention if they put like 30+ tags to their game Steam.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's love and visual novel and physiological horror and everything something one likes it, and it's so really positive, then free game. €1 or something.
Yeah. Yeah. There's lots of really interesting ways you could like make these things. But there's this thing that you could do some really crazy stuff and get away with it only if you are honest about everything of it, and you make jokes about yourself or your work, because if you make something that people don't really like or think that's too cringy or something, then if you're going to make jokes about yourself about it and your game, and the game doesn't take too seriously, then it could work. So there's I don't know if you know this really cool game called Getting Over It.
No.
Do you know this?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a really crazy game.
There's 2 minutes speedrun. Do you
Yeah.
know that there's 2 minutes speedrun as well?
Yeah. There's it's really hard game. Yeah, the speedrunners have like perfected it already, but usually people are playing it for a really long time and like losing all their progress a lot of times. But yeah, in here there's the game itself is really cool because it talks directly to the player, and it's
Alright, thanks for coming with me on this trip. I'll understand if you have to take a break at any point.
I think you can't hear it from here, but
Find a safe place to stop.
maybe you can read it.
Don't worry, I'll save your progress always, even your mistakes. This game is a homage to a free game that came out in 2002, titled Sexy Hiking.
Yeah.
The author of that game was Jesuo, a mysterious chip
So,
designer,
the-
known at the time as the father of
The
Wii
story that's
games are
like
rough
said
assemblages
in
of
here
various
is
designers.
in game
Designers
the
slap
character
them together very
is
quickly and
talking to
freely,
you
and they're often
about
too
how
rough and
this
unfriendly to game
game is really hard and
They're
why
built
he
more for the
designed
joy
it
of
this
building
way,
than his
that
logic.
how he likes the overcoming really hard things, and
In a certain way, Sexy
about
Hiking is the perfect
talks a lot
symbol of
about
the
indie games
It's
and
almost
everything.
entirely out of recycled parts.
Oh,
And it's one of the most unusual and unfriendly
that's a
games of
first.
all time. In it, your task is simply to drag yourself up a
Another
mountain.
game that's
That act of climbing, in the digital world already required, has certain essential properties that give the game its flavor.
Yeah.
No amount of forward progress is guaranteed. So
Yeah, there's
players
quite a lot
sheer
of
participatory.
crazy
The
games
player
that
is
are
constantly,
really
unremittingly in danger of falling and losing everything.
popular, and
Anyway, when you start Sexy Hiking, you're standing next to this little tree that blocks the way to the entire rest of the game. It might take you an hour to get over
so
that
basically
tree.
the
A lot of people never
character
get
in the
over
game talks to you all the time,
limits of your reach
and
your strength.
talks through your process, and it's like, oh, this part is really hard, isn't it? And then talks about why he made this game like this, and about everything video gaming, and
just by spending enough time.
so
In that sense,
people would
every pixelated art
be
Sexy
a lot
Hiking
more
is real.
angry for this game because basically it's all free assets used in here, and the game is really hard, and but it's so honest with you, and it's like a journey where you could almost like get to be friends with this guy who's the who made this game,
And it would usually turn out to
and
be
he
unreasonable.
thanks you for being
But I couldn't bring myself to make
with
it
you
easier.
on this
I already
journey,
felt like
and
my inability to get past
realizes
it
if you get really far that you're
as a player
like
rather than as a builder.
a crazy person who likes to suffer a lot or something.
Repeated attempts to reach the summit that turns those mountains into
Yeah.
something big.
So that's another.
You're building a video game world. You're building with ideas.
Yeah, you should look up this game. It's really cool. And basically, you only need time and a lot of imagination for this, because this kind of marketing doesn't need much money. Maybe you could, if you want to like kickstart it, you could put some euros in it for like sharing this at first. But if you do this really well, it doesn't need anything else. It just starts getting over the place itself. But then you have to do something new and try to think of something new. So, any questions?
Did you make any successful game?
No.
Okay.
That's what I said at first. I haven't, but I'm trying now. I just learned about all of this, and I'm now trying to make this work, and I'll let you all know if it works. You could try it as well and let me know if it works. And if you have like your own projects or something, and you feel like you would like to use some guerrilla marketing or on it or something, you could ask me. Maybe I could like think of something where you could get started from, and yeah.
What's about your own project?
Yeah.
What's your ideas with how you market your own game in your guerrilla marketing?
Yeah, well, right now the thing was I'm thinking of making this, or I am making this game about death. So it's a choice-driven game about death. So it's not really. It's kind of easy to market if you make this death theme really happy as well. If you have like this kind of weird thing, you see it's death, and there's like flowery and cute stuff in there. Also, what I was thinking, because it was made by you're playing as Grim Reaper, so you're doing the paperwork or death, deciding whether people live or die. Then I thought maybe I should put some real people in there, like maybe people who are okay with it, or then people who have died from really long times ago, from like old death, like I don't know, like from the newspapers or something, but that one has to be really old, and it's a bit risky because people don't take too good into it. But maybe this could make some interesting things to talk about for journalists. If you have real life people in the game who you could choose if you are going to save or you're going to let them die. So that was the first guerrilla marketing way I was thinking of. Maybe it's too risky, I'm not sure if I'm brave enough for that, but I'm going to look into it more. So, yeah.
And Marco has a question. What do you think about going to events like Mango Day or GDC to show your game?
Yeah, why not? That's really good way of marketing, I guess. It depends what kind of game you have, because some games are really some games are really like atmospheric and don't go too well into showing them on these really big conferences and letting people try that, because they are in this really happy mood and don't feel like getting into it. But going into conferences is still like one of the basics, I guess. You should do it. I was talking about it somewhere. Okay, here. Yeah, and the basics, like show the game on conventions. Well, that's the thing that this game I was talking about in the beginning did as well. They exhibited several events across the globe. There was like 7 of them, all the biggest ones, but they didn't do it. But they just nobody saw them because it was just another platformer. Platformer with interesting gravity physics, but that's it. And there were far more crazier things out there that catch people eye better. So if you're going to do like, it will work. All of the marketing will work, I guess, if you have something that's really well marketable at the first place. So yeah.
Adrian has a question. How would you spend 100, 500, or 1,000 euros marketing budget for your death game?
Haven't. No, I don't have a marketing budget yet, but I could think of something. Well, like at first I said, you could put like a bit money for starting starting to spread the craziness around. But basically, I think what Marko asked was the conventions. I guess the conventions could take a bit money to go there and show the game in there. So I guess that one is the place where I could put the money. Yeah.
Sure. How would you act on conventions or some game jams or something like that? How would you make your stand, or what would you do there?
Yeah, that's another good thing. What was this? There's this game company. I don't remember names ever. Was it like some Tiny Build? Is a game company, I guess. They have this thing that they always go in their all orange. They have orange cap, orange t-shirts, everyone, and everyone who saws their booth is like, oh my god, it's so like crazily one color, like orange or something, and they really see it in there because of that. So that works really well. So if you have a strong visual like logo or something, and you just take like one color or something, one style, and just put it to everything. So all of the stuff we do is in one style. So basically, I think it would work. Like if I would go to a convention with this death game thing, I think everyone tries to be like so poppy with their everything to stand out. I could like go in all black, like really like put black everywhere, just on the floor and on the walls and everything. Try to just cover everything, or just be different from everything else because of that.
You all can dress up as animals.
Yeah, we could like be a Grim Reapers, or like with big cloaks or synths or whatever. All of this works really well. Could put like tombstones or something up and be like really morbid or something. These kinds of things just go over the board. There's like no middle ground. Oh, let's try kind of this thing. But if you think about like one style and just concentrate it, make it more and more, and just go over the board, and this is the way you're going to get some attention from people.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah?
I have a question that rose from the 100,000 euros marketing budget. If it was up to you to use this money not just in marketing, but the whole development, which could include marketing, and how much would you actually put into marketing and how much into development?
That's the thing, that marketing and development, I really feel like it's a one big package. So the game design should be made as well as thinking of marketing, and marketing should be made the same time as thinking about game design. So basically, I think it's well, it depends on the project, but of course you have to. If you have like a budget, you should put some of it on the on marketing as well. But like in here, I was talking, if you don't even have a budget, how to do something. But the thing is, you should make the game and the marketing together. I don't know if you can understand it. If you're designing the game, then it's already making the marketing. If you're designing the game for the market, if you're doing the game just for yourself, then you could just make the game like fun. But if you're making it for the market, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know about this kind of big budgeting, so yeah. Or did you want to know about something more specific, like percentage? Like I said, I'm not going to talk about numbers today. Yeah. Okay. So now go and make something fresh and new, and nothing illegal. Or if you do, then don't make me like I'm not responsible for your wrongdoings. Okay, thank you.
That's a cat, by the way. On a bunny.
No.